Is it really July? Like, I'm in denial. How's it July? Where's time going? Hello everybody, it's Emily, and this is going to be my June wrap-up. So in June, I read a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I read a total of 7 books. I think I gave a pretty much an average 4-star rating for all the books. Somewhere in that general area, except for one, which was like 2.5 stars. And I read 5 physical books and 2 ebooks. So let's just get into it. I'm just going to run through this pile, and in no particular order. I read The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Auel, and I gave this book a 4-star rating. I really, really liked it. So this book is, I read it for grade 9, and it's prehistoric fiction. And it's about a girl named Ayla who is found as a small child by this group of people, this clan. They call themselves Clan of the Cave Bear. And they are Neanderthals, and she is not. Ayla is fully human, and they make her part of their clan, essentially, and she has to learn to abide by the way they live, which is ingrained in their being. They just know these things, and she doesn't. And it's a really interesting story. I really enjoyed the atmosphere, the world building, learning about the clan and how they live and how they've acclimated to the world, and how Ayla and her people are so different from them and the way that they function. And it's a really interesting story about a dying people, a dying culture, and how Ayla learns to adapt to them. I just really enjoyed the story. It's just a beautifully written book. I've heard that the rest of the series is not as good as this book, which is disappointing to hear. I may read the next book just to see, but I don't think I've heard a single good review of the rest of the series, but I really highly enjoyed this book. I read A Bone from a Dry Sea by Peter Dickinson, and this was just a really interesting young adult historical fiction about a girl who is on a archaeological or anthropological dig with her father, and they're in Africa, and they find these bones belonging to prehistoric people who are so far, this is the first bones that they found of this type of person, and it flashes back and forth in time, and when it goes to the people that they're unearthing the bones of, and it's sort of like a missing link kind of a thing, because these are people who are a little bit more ape than human, and I think they're described as being very small, having fur. Their faces are more ape-like, but they can think. They don't have words, but they think in ways that a person would think. They problem solve, and the main character that we follow when we're back in time is a girl who is starting to develop all these ideas, and she can create these inventions for things, and it's really, really interesting. But I really enjoyed the parts where we're in the modern time, because I used to want to be an archaeologist when I was a kid, so it's really interesting to read about the process and all the different things that happen on a dig, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the book too. So this I gave a 4-star rating to. I really enjoyed Peter Dickinson's writing. He also read The Kin, which is also by Peter Dickinson, and this is a historical fiction that takes place in prehistoric Africa, and it follows 4 children. And actually it's a bind-up of 4 novellas, and each novella is from the point of view of one of the 4 children. And it's a really interesting story, a really interesting concept. They call themselves the Kin, and these are, the children in this book are of the Moonhawk clan in the Kin. And they, at the beginning of the story, there's been an attack on their home, and most of the people from their kin, from their clan, are killed, and the ones that escape, they get left behind, basically, these children, and so they have to find their way back to their people, and along the way they meet other people, and the people they meet are not of the same type of human species as them. They look human, and they behave in human ways, but they don't have speech. They can't speak. They talk in grunts and gestures. And so there's a lot of talk within the story of, are they really human? Are they people? What makes a person people? Well, interesting things to think about. I also really enjoy that after each chapter, Peter Dickinson has written a mythology, and each myth follows the chapter, and the myths kind of like reflect what's happening in the story as well. I really enjoy that. I like mythology. So this is a really cool book. I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. Another book I read for grade 9 this month, or this past month, was The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert. I really liked this book. I enjoy nonfiction once in a while. It's nice to just read something different. This is really well done nonfiction. I really like Bill Bryson's writing, and I think her writing is similar in the breeziness of it. It's not really scientific or difficult to read. It's really breezy the way she writes, but the information is really, really interesting and intriguing, and I really found this book to be kind of horrifying and also very just, I couldn't stop reading. I needed to know more. And basically the concept of this book is there have been 5 major mass extinctions throughout the history of the Earth, and we are currently in the 6th, which is terrifying to think about, that we are currently living through our own extinction, which, you know, nobody wants to think about that, but it's true. And if you look at what's happened in the past, and if you look at what's happening now, and all the feedback loops and all of those things, you see that we are currently basically killing ourselves and our planet. And while Earth may survive it, we probably won't. So I think this is a really interesting book, and everyone should read it. It's really, this is such an important topic, and I think everyone should read this book. It should be required reading. So if you haven't read it, go pick it up. It's not hard. I think I read this whole book in like 3 sittings. I read it over a weekend. It's really good. I highly recommend it, and I gave this 4.5 stars. Kids and I read Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This was our read aloud in July, and I have to say, while I really enjoyed the story, doesn't make a good read aloud. I don't know. It just, I don't know if it was the language or what, but it didn't flow well out loud. I don't know. I felt myself like stumbling a lot, which I don't usually do when I'm reading aloud. So I don't think this makes a great read aloud. I'm probably not going to read the next book out loud. But the story itself is really good. I enjoyed this quite a lot, actually. It's similar in tone to the Hunger Games series. I think it's a dystopian, obviously, and it's science fiction. And basically the premise of the story, if you don't know, is it takes place on Mars. And the main character, Darrow, is a teenager, and he lives and works. He's a Red, and he lives underground in Mars, where they mine. And I forget what it is that they are mining. But they are mining the planet, and they believe, the people that live down there, they're called the Reds, and they believe that they are preparing the planet for themselves, for their future, or their children, basically. That they are making the planet livable for other people in the future. But what they don't realize is that people are already living on the planet, and they're being lied to, basically. And this story has like a really interesting caste system. It reminded me a lot of the Indian caste system, where, you know, there's different levels of society, and when you're born into whatever level you're born into, you are stuck there. You do not get to move up. So there are the Reds, which are like the lowest of society, and of course the top is the Golds. And the story is sort of like a rebellion story, but Darrow has to overcome the fact that he's a Red and blend into the Gold society, which, in order to do that, he has to basically alter his entire appearance, and he goes through this process of becoming a Gold, and there's this school he has to go to in order to become one of the highest ranking Golds, and it's a really interesting world building. I really liked the world building. I didn't love Darrow, I have to say. I couldn't really get into him as a character. I think it's one of those he's too perfect scenarios. I have that problem sometimes with characters when they're just like too perfect and everything they do is just awesome. and they have no flaws, and he is definitely one of those kinds of characters, but the world building and the story going on around him was so interesting and so intriguing that it made up for that. So I still really enjoyed it, and I gave it 3.5 stars. So read American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I read this in anticipation of the show coming out on Starz because I heard about that, and I love Neil Gaiman, and I hadn't read this book yet, so I read it, and I loved it. This was awesome, and I knew I was going to like it. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Small Gods, which was by Terry Pratchett, part of his Discworld series, and I found this to be similar to that, but not really. It's a similar idea that, you know, these gods are people too, basically, and they need things from us humans. And the main character, Shadow, has just been released from prison, and he comes home and finds his world basically turned upside down, and he gets offered a job by this man named Mr. Wednesday. And the story goes from there, and it's kind of hard to explain without being spoilery. I've been trying to think how do you explain the story without giving things away, and it's really hard to do. So basically, it's mythology, but it's not. There are these characters who are gods, and some of them are, you know, it's gods that you've heard of, like Anansi the spider, and Odin, and that sort of thing. But there's also some that are just like, I don't know if Neil Gaiman made them up, or if he did a lot of research, and I've just never heard of those gods, but I found the story to be really interesting. I was compelled to read the whole time. I had to keep reading. I had to know what was going to happen. And I am really, really psyched. I'm really psyched for the show. I cannot wait for that to come on. I think it starts in the fall. I'm highly anticipating watching American Gods on Starz. That's going to be amazing. So I really enjoyed the story. 4.5 stars. The last book I read was Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I read this because I follow Sasha's channel, A Book Utopia, and she's been talking about this for a while, and I just was intrigued. And it was only $1.99, so I went ahead and downloaded it because my daughter is also a fan, and she wants to read it too. She hasn't gotten a chance to yet, but anyway, I gave it 2.5 stars. I like Sasha's channel. She's adorable, and and I'm a fan. And I will continue. I'm going to read the next installment when it comes out. But I'm just not in love with the story as a whole so far. I think my two biggest problems with it was that, one, it was way too much information. Like, I understand it's a small, it was like 62 pages. So it's not world building so much as like world dumping and throwing all this stuff at you that you need to know. And I found that just to be like, whoa, too much. Like, it would have worked better if it was a longer story and spread out more instead of just like all at once. So I didn't love that. And also, one of my pet peeves is made up curse words. If you're gonna do it, you gotta go all in. If all your curses are normal except for Fike, like, just don't do that. Stop trying to make Fike happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not. But the writing itself is good. I liked the writing. It was well written. I liked that each character has its own voice. I had no problems like differentiating the characters from each other. I just wish it had been a little longer, and that the world building had been better. I think if she had published this as one big novel instead of in segments, I think it would work better. But that's just my opinion. But I will definitely read the next one, and I gave it 2.5 stars. So those are the books that I read in June. So I'm just going to tell you quick what I'm currently reading. So my current read right now is A Storm of Swords. I'm reading this on my Kindle at night. And I'm about, I don't know, 300 pages in, I think. This is a reread, obviously. I'm just trying to slowly reread the series in anticipation of the Winds of Winter. By the time I get to Dance of Dragons, I'm hoping it'll be about time for Winds of Winter. So I'm doing like one book every couple of months. So I'm up to Storm of Swords. So I am also currently reading The Magician's Land, which is the third book in the Magician's trilogy. I am not that far in. I'm only like on page 69. I just started it, but you know, already I love it. I'm loving it. I knew I was going to enjoy it, so I'm excited to finish that. I'm also planning on reading The Man in the High Castle later this month because we're watching the TV show on Amazon Prime, and I'm like, stop. We can't watch anymore until I read the book. I have to read the book. So I'm going to try to get this done soon-ish, because my husband's getting tired of waiting for me. And I'm also planning on reading The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins sometime this month, just because the premise sounded so intriguing that I just really want to read it. I have to know what's happening in this book. It's supposed to be weird and strange, and I don't know. The premise sounds so intriguing that, you know, this woman has been abducted by this man. He's been abducting these girls, and he started his own cult. They think he's some kind of god or something. And they live in this house, and they've never left the house. And then he dies. And these girls don't know what to do with themselves, and they have to figure out the world or something, I think. And I'm just like, I'm really intrigued. I need to know what happens. Chapter 2 is called Buddhism for Assholes. Like, how can you not want to read a book where there's a chapter called Buddhism for Assholes? I don't know. I think that sounds awesome. So that's what I'm currently reading. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. What are you currently reading, and what did you read in the month of June? Please let me know down below in the comments so we can talk about it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Happy reading. Bye.